I love doing DIYs. So major of the content that I create is home decor, but DIYs in the field of home decor. So that yellow trunk was my first ever DIY, and that was a coffee table that we made for our new home, which by just painting a old iron trunk yellow, and it kind of became viral when I have started my journey. Everyone started painting the trunks and tagging me. This is how you inspired us. Of we had an iron trunk just in the loft, so stored somewhere else. Your idea just inspired us, and there were like 10 to 15 people tagging me like, this is what we did after we saw what you did. So that gave me an idea. Why don't I name my page that yellow trunk? And yes, so that became my identity. As a content creator, rather than breakthroughs, when we always breakthroughs, people, the content creators always think that this content became viral, or this garnered so many million views. For me now, the breakthrough through my content creation is content creation gave me the confidence to leave my corporate job and start my own studio. That came through content creation. Because when I did corporate jobs after doing my post graduation for 14 years. I was in corporate field, and so you're doing the same kind of work there, right? And somewhere while I was doing it, I felt that I'm losing out on the creativity that is there in me. So I am a very creative person. I am not a number crunching person, but a very creative person. I kind of miss, and that is where the that missing that creative thing transpired into starting my that yellow trunk. And then, because this social media and this content creation is that instant validation. Instantly people start, this is good, this is something that you should do for other homes. When I was not doing this and I was just doing the job, I always used to think, if I start my own design studio, who would hire me? Why would people hire me? But this that yellow trunk page had become a portfolio. By knowing or unknowingly, it had become my portfolio, because I was just doing it by the weekends or nights, and I was just putting the content there, and people started relating to it, and people started telling me, you should start your own studio, you should do it for other people's home. And that kind of gave me that confidence that maybe I can just quit my job and start my design studio. And maybe small, I'll start with a friends or family's home, and then I'll do it. But that is my breakthrough moment, and not going viral, but that breakthrough moment of getting that confidence of doing something of your own and opening a business. And that is the biggest breakthrough moment of my personal life, I would say. Getting that confidence, and just leaving the job and starting my own work. I feel for the client or for the homeowner should be not a traumatic experience. It is for most of the cases, because you have to make so many decisions. You are spending so much money. Sometimes the contractor is coming, sometimes they're not coming, and that. So my approach always is to make that journey for the end user fun. I start my meetings with the person. Let's have fun now. Let's have fun. Let's make some decisions. Maybe this will fall. This will fall at the right place or not. But let's not forget to have fun. So my favorite saying or quotation, I always say this at forms on my page. Um, Creativity is intelligence having fun. This is something that Albert Einstein said, and this is my favorite quotation. In the same line, you have creativity, you have intelligence, and you have fun. So this is something, don't forget to have fun while you're designing your homes. So this has always been my approach. Tips. Okay. So for creating at a budget now, keep like have a soft lighting. Lighting is everything. So when I do homes for this mid segment where you are just, spending a tight amount of budget, but you want to make the homes beautiful. Lighting is everything. We always go for these in mid segment. Now we spend so much money in putting tube lights. I always say lighting is everything. Bring a light. Tube lights are fine. White light is fine. But when you are doing some task, when you're doing studies, when you're cooking or something, Keep a secondary level of lighting, that is soft lighting. Have lamps, have lots of lamps. It need not be a statement lamp or something. There are so many lamps that are available now on, like e-commerce, that are under 1,000 rupees, and they are under 100 rupees. They are very beautiful. Have a collection of lamps. Put lamps in every corner of your homes. That is going to change the vibe of your home. Just imagine you coming to your home in the evening, after a long day, and putting on those tube lights. It is even more, it brings you down. It brings it down. Just put on the soft mood lighting. There is a reason why these soft lights are called mood lighting, because they lift up your mood. They relaxing you. They relaxes you. So this is something, that's the first step. Lighting is everything. Keep task lighting where task is important. Don't ignore it. But task lighting is not the only lighting that should be there at home. Soft lights, soft lamps here and there should be there at every space. This is one. Next is, don't be afraid to, put carpets or rugs in your living room. I mean, we kind of think now, saaf kaise hoga, who will clean it, who will vacuum it and everything. That's okay. You will clean it once in a week. You will show it to sunlight once in a month. That's okay. But carpet, not carpet exactly, durries or rugs, and moving durries on rugs, that brings the space together. If you have a large room, and in one corner you have living room, and in the other corner you have dining room, just the living room itself, if you have a carpet or if you have a rug, that thing grounds it. It defines that space. So rug is my, second tip. So lights and rugs are something that is like non-negotiable when I do. So these two things are like, they should be there. And third is wall art. uh, Affordable wall art. Anything and everything can be wall art. You don't have to wait for that, festival like Diwali to be spending on a large wall art. We will, on this festival, will spend this much of money to buy a large wall art. No, just bring out anything. You must be having some posters or something, some dupattas or anything. I create so many DIYs using anything and everything: old magazines, old newspaper cuttings, travel souvenirs. You can make wall art using anything. So just fill up your walls. Don't keep your walls blank. Don't spend much. Just put things together. You just have to have that eye of, making a composition. That's it. So these three things, like, can quickly change the pace of your space. Anyone can try. Yes, this is like, I keep repeating this idea once in 6 months always. So while I was saying now, it is very simple to make wall arts in your homes. Go and buy beautiful gift wrapping paper. Gift wrapping paper, and you can simply cut them and put them in frames. Gift wrapping papers make the bestest wall art. I had so many reels that I have made out of them. I've given sources where to buy, gift wrapping papers that are beautiful, and they don't look like a mithai ka dabba, only red and that, but they're very pretty, well printed. And so many artists, small artists make nice gift wrapping paper. They are worthy of frame. They're frame worthy, as we say now. They are just simply frame worthy. So the simplest and the fastest way of doing a DIY is just collect some nice gift wrapping paper and just make a collage out of it in good frames and put it on the wall. This is the fastest and the most useful DIY that one can do, I think. Okay, so it's like, content creation is, it sometimes gets difficult, because to stay focused and stay motivated to create every day, or maybe every week, multiple times every week, it sometimes pulls you down. And also, see, it's the only drawback in content creation is the money stream or the earning is not constant. Sometimes it's high, sometimes. So there's so many things that can pull you down. I always feel, the comments that my own I don't call them my followers or anything. I call them my audience or the community, because there are people who message me like, we are there with you when you had like only 500 people in your page or 5,000 people in your page. Recently, I had, posted a journey of how my home studio had evolved. So people commented on that, we remember this when you did this, like, 2 years ago. We still remember this. Kudos to you. We have been there throughout this journey, and we are so inspired, even if they don't comment on each and every content that I post. But it is so, motivating when reading these comments, like, this is, and there are so many people when I do my interior projects and I post it with complete details, like, this is the paint code, or this is the tile code, or anything, so that people can, make it at their homes. And I get mails, not even messages, I get mails with pictures that this is something that we took out of your page. We would like to share this with you. You had, shared that hack of doing this. We got it done at our home and it looked so beautiful. So these kind of, um, unseen comments, these don't come on the page, like, just under the post, but like maybe in terms of DM or anything. And there are so many comments, there's so many DMs I get, hi Anjali, nothing in particular, but we just want to say that you are doing such a nice job. So this makes my day. I mean, this is like, I get there's so many messages. I get every day painting a pot, I get inspired to pull out my brushes and doing something after my office. So these things keep me going. I mean, anyway, numbers and all are fine, but they keep changing. Algorithm does, it keeps changing. Virality is something else yesterday, and viralities will be something else tomorrow. But this community building and all, I feel, is something that will stay forever. So this is something that, keeps me going. These words. So, when I do styling, or, making over a small space, even if it's for my home, or even if it's for my parents, and even if I'm doing, so I also do, interior design projects. So even if it's there, the first thing that I always see is how much light is there, how much natural light is there in the corner. So if there is lots and lots of natural light, I tend to, play with some dark colors. Maybe I'll put some dark colors and all. Even maybe I'll paint the wall non-white and all. But if I have low light now, so then I'll not go for bright or dark colors in that zone to make the space even more smaller and all. So I always first analyze how much light, natural light, is coming into that space. That is very important for me. So if natural light is not there now, so I will put light points. If it's in the construction stage, I will add more light points to that area so that we can have lights, and that space doesn't become dull and all. Secondly, functionality is very important for me. Even if while I'm doing projects or maybe styling, that what purpose will that small space, is it just a relaxing corner, or is it going to be an extra reading space for the small kid at the home? He's not having any, dedicated space, maybe in the complete home. Maybe we can make this corner his dedicated space. So who is going to use it is very important for me. So this functionality, lighting, and then comes the styling. And styling, I always say, is like, first, if you have solved your functionality of the space, then styling is like, then we can always tackle the styling. So first I have to tackle the lighting and the functionality. That is very important. Okay, so homes by so if I have to be very technical about what I do now, so there is an offline part of my work, and there's an online part. So homes by Yellow Trunk is the offline part, where I take projects and I design it from the scratch, because I'm an architect and interior designer. So that is where my education or my profession lies. And the online part is sharing my creativity, and not necessarily only showcase what I'm doing offline. So these are two absolutely different aspects of. So when we do offline projects now, they kind of stretch like 5 months to 6 months. So they keep on happening in the background. When they get finished, I do post their pictures and all. But this that Yellow Trunk is the major part of me, I would say. That is like where that, I mean, homes by Yellow Trunk could happen because that Yellow Trunk was there. Because this part was already there, it was established, people knew me through this page. I had the confidence to open a small studio, and I call it like Homes by that Yellow Trunk. And I post, like, no, I'm not very regular or there, because when the projects end, I have something to showcase and all, I showcase there. But this is like that Yellow Trunk is like, even if I find something, say a spray paint color on Amazon, I'll share it. like, this is something that I found out, and this is amazing. The color, the finish is amazing. You can just, I'll show how to use it and I'll post it there. So this, like, anything and everything related to DIYs and how to make your homes beautiful. You don't have to hire me as your designer. You can just pick tips from that yellow trunk and make that home beautiful. There are so many tips that are happening there. So that is how it is, offline and online. I could have done it a little sooner. This is something, I could have done it a little sooner, but I mean, better late than never. So one thing is that if you have anything, any passion, anything, be it cooking, if you're passionate about anything, it doesn't have to be related to your, education or your profession. If you're passionate about telling stories, just do it. Just open a page. Just don't think of. I used to think a lot, like, what will people say? What will people do? But that starting thing, I think, and don't hesitate as to what is your aim. You know, somewhere or the other, you will find your audience. If your content is good, if people relate to your content, it will be, people will find you. People will, follow you. And the thing is, don't think that content creation is a costly affair. You can just start it with your phone. This is my biggest learning. There have been content pieces where I have spent a lot of money in getting the best of videographers, and making it like look like very cinematic and all, but people didn't find it appealing. And on the other hand, I just took a shaky video just from my didn't even use a tripod, but I just shared a tip or hack using my phone. People related to it, people liked it, and it worked really well. So it's just that what value you're giving through your content to your audience, and that's it. And I think, I believe, content on Instagram is much different from your profile on LinkedIn. Just don't make another LinkedIn page out of your Instagram or your YouTube page. Be the real person there. On LinkedIn, there are so many things maybe you cannot say there, or you cannot show there, because that is a professional thing and you are there. But this is your fun page. That's why I always say, make it fun, make it real, show that you can, fail also, show a little bit of failure also. That makes you relatable. Show your what do I say, show your challenges, what challenges you were facing doing this. I always say, like, there are failed DIYs, or this is something I should have done earlier and all. Then people will relate to you more. And so that's why what I always say, LinkedIn is different than Instagram or YouTube. If you're creating content, is very different, and you just have to be your real self. And maybe you will have to just surrender. Ki chalo, let's see what happens, right? Na? That also you will have to do. And that kind of gives you confidence. It's this freedom that you feel on that page then. One trend I would skip really as a designer is, now I see these interior design videos where we have wall paneling in every wall. I mean, you don't need to cover each and every wall of your home. You can let the walls breathe. So I've seen interior design videos where just people are just covering their each and every wall with wall paneling and heavy look and all. That is one trend I don't really like. I always, in my designs also, I always tell people that keep some, breathing walls at your homes. Maybe later on you decide to put maybe a gallery wall of family pictures there. If you just design edge to edge and there is some material plastered on every wall, then you are just left with a whole home, and you can't really hang anything later on. Just keep some flexibility, some walls blank. I always say this, let your walls breathe as a designer. So this is one trend I don't really like, where people just put wall paneling over everything. And one trend in design or in social media that I really like would be how accessible it has become to, uh, affordable wall arts. I would say there have so many pages or homegrown artists have come out with such nice, unique, affordable wall arts, which was really, really missing a few years back. We didn't really know what to frame and what to put on the wall. Now we have ready-made wall arts, ready-made gallery walls, set of 6, set of 7, being shown by design influencers, home decor influencers. And that is the best trend, I feel, because even if you're not a creative person, but then you have ready-made and affordable options for you right on your phone. You have just seen that reel, oh, this looks nice, and this is like in my budget. You are now ready to, just change the look of the wall and all, which was not there, I think, few years back, because the question we always is used to get as a designer is kuch unique wall art chahiye, but kahan se le, where to get it, and when we unique, that uniqueness, if we went to buy it, it used to cost a lot. But I think affordable wall arts have come in huge number, and that is a very, very good thing. That is a very good thing. Next is like, I would say I am planning, and I have been wanting to do it a lot, because I have a small team, or I am the only main designer, and then I work with freelancers. I've not been able to, scale a lot in my offline work, where I take up projects and all. I get queries a lot as to, outstation, can you just do, because that yellow trunk page is, so visible and people know. So I get queries that can you do our home, say in Bangalore or in Kerala or in Hyderabad, where I have to say no when I say no, I suggest such as some small team. So I'm planning to start this one-on-one consultation, you know, wherein people can just book a time slot, and with their limited queries. They might not have a designer for doing up their home, but they might be having a list of queries. What should we do? This is something that we are thinking of doing it, and this, or maybe they're just buying a new home and they want someone's expertise as to, is this layout, this real estate developer is giving me this layout, is this okay? What do you think, this carpet area versus the super area, is it working or not working? Because I have an 14-year experience in real estate. I have been working real estate development, and I have this huge experience in, mass housing, and what is carpet area, what is super area, what is built up area, what is this whole thing, what is the standard size of a living room or standard size of bedroom, where you can fit in every, furniture and all. So I am planning to start this one-on-one consultation with people, where people, irrespective of the location, can, come up with their list of queries with me, and I can just solve their queries. And that would be really helpful to a lot of people, I think. So this is something I'm planning. And the second thing, this is something from that homes by that yellow trunk, that offline thing. Online, this thing is, I want to, do or curate some DIY experiences, DIY workshops, where people can just, come in or join a Zoom. They can be physical also, and they can be, online also, where I, collaborate with some craft brand or anything, and we send them curated DIY boxes at their homes if they're at home. It has everything. All we have to do is come on Zoom call, and I'll tell them, see, in your box you have this personalized box, there is this item, there is this item, there is this item. Now let's open for next 1 hour, you can just relax and do this, and we can just have a craft party, I would say. So this kind of things I want to really do in the future. And few bit I'm working on it. Let's see. Let's hope for the best.